All right, guys. So the 76ers season comes to an end after a painful loss in game 6 to the Knicks. We're going to talk about it, but before we get into this video, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification icon. So the 76ers lose to the Knicks in game 6 at home, and as a result, their season comes to an end. Now, I want to say this about the Knicks. First of all, congratulations to the Knicks. All you can do from this point on is just wish them good luck. They take on the Indiana Pacers in the second round. They take on the six-seeded Indiana Pacers, and that probably will kick off next week or maybe on Sunday. So, good luck to the Knicks. They did what was necessary for them to win. Everybody on that team contributed at a very, very high level. Everybody produced at a very, very high level, which I think was one of the biggest difference makers in this series. Is that, the Knicks, the role players stepped up huge than the 76ers. I mean, if you take a look at the Knicks, if you put Jalen Brunson aside, he's the best player. He averaged 30 plus in this series, but they had five other guys averaging double figures. But if you take a look at the Sixers, Embiid, if you put him aside, he averaged 30 plus. The Sixers only had two guys averaging double figures, which was Maxey and Kelly Oubre. Tobias Harris didn't really have his best series. He underperformed in this series, and most of the role players underperformed in this series. But I think that was one of the biggest difference makers. And we all know the Knicks. They play with a ton of energy. They play hard nosed defense. They get out in transition. They run. They get back in transition. They get on the glass. And rebounding was one of the biggest factors in this series as well. Because the Knicks, one thing they do best is they get on the boards and they rebound the basket at a very, very high level. And there's a reason why they were the first team in terms of offensive rebounds. They get on the offensive rebounds to give themselves second chance opportunities. So um they did everything. They did a little bit of everything: scoring, defense, rebounding, like second chance opportunity. Like, they did everything necessary to win, but the Sixers not quite so. Now I was taking a look at the stats, and if you look at the averages, the Knicks averaged 0.1 point more than the Sixers, which means if the Sixers had gotten a few more of those rebounds or a few more production from the role players, we're probably having a different conversation. But nonetheless, I'm not taking anything from the Knicks. They were the better team. They beat the Sixers. Congratulations to them. But I just want to say this about the Sixers. First of all, Embiid is he's a warrior. Embiid is definitely a warrior. I mean, going through a knee surgery, and coming back, helping this team make it to the playoffs and, averaging 30 plus. I don't think anybody in their right minds can tell me that Embiid is a playoff dropper. Yeah, he lost in the first round, but you got to put things into perspective. Why did they lose in round 1? Did he not show up? Did he show up? And from the look of things, he definitely showed up, but it was the extra things is what made the Sixers lose in this first round here. And yeah, I know the Knicks were also dealing with injuries. Julius Randle's not playing, but um, it's not Embiid's fault that the Sixers lost in this series. He did what he could. He did it to the best of his abilities, and nobody can blame him of any loss. So, big shout out to Joel Embiid. He did what he could, and shout out to Maxey as well. First time stepping up as a second option, and being the lead guard on this team and doing what he had to do. Keeping this team afloat in the absence of Joel Embiid. That's not no easy task. And heading into this playoffs, averaging 29 points a game as a second option. He's definitely going to be the future of this franchise, but he's only going to get better moving on from here. So, um, and Nick Nurse, I want to say this about Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, he did a hell of a job in his first season. It was unfortunate that Embiid got hurt. If Embiid didn't get hurt, we're probably having a different conversation. But I'm hearing people saying he's a terrible coach. He's this, he's that. I mean, he did all he could. His best player was not there. I mean, a lot of teams, if you take their best player off the team for about 2.5 months, they're probably going to be in the same situation that the Sixers was in. So I don't think giving Nick Nurse any kind of blame is fair. He did what he could. The team was not. The role players didn't step up as much as they should. Tobias Harris underperformed in this series. Buddy Hield, I mean, he did have a great yeah, 20 points in game 5. I mean, game 6, he did step up, but I mean, for the most part, he was a no-show in the series to a point where Nick Nurse had to bench him. And in the process of him getting benched, he missed I think 2 games in the series because he wasn't playing good. So, uh, I think if the role players had stepped up, if they had made shots, if we had played better defense, if our defensive rotations would have been very very good, we'd probably have a chance in this series. But yeah, that's all I have. This is my first year covering this team. It was a great run. I had fun with it. I'm definitely going to continue to do it. And this will be one of the best off seasons. I expect every Sixer fan to join me on my lives, and we're going to talk about off season trades, off season signings, players or the caliber of players that we need to sign, the players that we need to let go, or who we have to trade in order to make this team better. We're going to have discussions like that. This coming off season. So if you're a Sixer fan, or I mean a basketball fan in general, and or you have if you have a problem with some of my takes, you can join me on my lives and we can definitely talk about it. If you have any criticism is welcomed as well. Anything Sixers related is welcome, obviously. But I mean, it's a basketball channel at the end of the day. But the Sixers losing in round one, it definitely sucks. It's definitely frustrating. It's definitely disappointing. But there's always you always get another chance at it. So hopefully Embiid can, get the necessary rest that he deserves or that he needs. He's going to be playing in the Olympics. I wish he doesn't play, but I mean, he's not going to be playing 30 plus minutes in the Olympics, so that's fine. But hopefully he can get the rest that he needs. Hopefully this team can get the rest they need. And this off season, we're going to have a lot of conversation about a lot of things. But I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support that y'all show me since day one. We're going to continue to do this. And we will never stop doing this. But appreciate the love, appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.